Welcome back to Always Learning. What are we doing today? Well, today we're learning how to make mozzarella cheese. And the way we're doing it is we're making it with cow milk. You just want to make sure you get pasteurized, not ultra pasteurized. If you can get raw milk, that's even better. And then the only other ingredients you're going to need is a little white vinegar. And I'm going to show you how to make it. It's pretty simple. It takes about 30 minutes and it is going to be wonderful. So to make the mozzarella cheese, I'm taking my Dutch oven here and I've got 1.89 liters or a half gallon, and it is pasteurized low temp milk. It's organic, you don't have to get it. I just wanted to try the low pasteurized, see if it had more flavor to it. And I'm just gonna put it low to medium. So it goes 1 to 10, and I'm gonna put it on like a 4. And you're really just heating the milk up so it gets to somewhere between that 113. It's basically just going to be warm to the touch. That's all you're trying to do, is to get it kind of going. You want to kind of stir it so that it heats up evenly and get it to that temperature, just warm enough. If you don't have a thermometer to check it, just warm to the touch. All right, so we hit that magical 115, 116, anywhere from 115 to 120. Like it's no exact science. There's nothing magical happens at that temperature. It's kind of warm to the touch. I'm going to remove it from the heat, and we're going to add in, I've got a 1/4 cup here, so we're going to add in 1/2 cup of white vinegar, and that's what's going to cause the curds to separate from the whey. And we'll remove the heat, turn that off, move it over here, just so slightly, and continue to stir. And really all we're going to do here is we're going to get the vinegar mixed in with the milk. And you can see here then we're going to cover it for about 10 minutes. So start your timer, and we're just going to let it set and cover for 5 to 10 minutes. Like I said, it's not exact science. And it will separate the curds from the whey. The whey is the protein, and the curds are basically the fat. So the whey is the kind of yellow liquid, and the white is the fat that we're going to want to keep and make into cheese. All right, let's cheat a little bit. That's at the 6-minute mark. You can see the yellow is the whey, and the curds are starting to separate. We're going to cover it for another 4 minutes and just see what we get. All right, voila, here we are. Looks about the same as it did at the 5-minute mark. And a couple different ways you can do it. You can see here that you can start dragging the curds over to the side. There's one way you can do it. Some people will simply just pour this whole thing through your strainer or your cauldron to catch the curds. Or you can also just get a little basket kind of like this and scoop up the curds however you want it. And I'm going to use the scoop method. And once we get all the curds scooped up and separated from the whey, then we're gonna, there's a couple of different methods you can do. You can either just microwave the curds to get them up to about that 160 temperature, so it'd be like 2 30-second blasts, and then squeeze them, get it how you want it, and then put it in the cup of ice cold water bath to solidify it permanently, not permanently, but solidify it pretty well. Or the other one is you can reheat this whey on the stovetop to 160 and add a little salt, and then you're going to put your mozzarella cheese ball back in there. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to reheat this whey, up to 160, and then put my cheese ball back in there. I think I've got most of the curds out of there. This is what it looks like in the strainer. And then I've got a pot underneath it to capture the rest of it. With all the curds in the strainer now, simply going to press and try to get rid of some more of that liquid that's in there, more of that whey. There's no real hurry. Not on a time crunch, just simply squeeze that. And you can pick it up with your hands too. I'm just going to try to form it here. While I'm squeezing out the rest of that whey out of the curds, I'm going to go ahead and put the leftover whey, I'm going to put it back on the stove and return it to heat to start to get it up to 160 for the next process, because it's going to take a little bit. So while you're waiting for the whey to warm up, it's just good to go ahead and get your ice bath ready and then get that over there so you have it ready as well. And while that's going on, I'm just going to take this whey with my hands, pick it up out of there now. It's kind of into a pretty good ball. And I'm just going to squeeze the rest of it out of there. Squeeze the rest of that juice and just kind of keep forming it. Nothing crazy. I'm not squeezing it really hard. Just getting some of that out of there. Just keep working it down. All right, so I've got my little ball. I'm gonna let it set in here. You could return the rest of the whey if you wanted to. That's in here to the pot as well. I guess I'll go ahead and do that. All right, we've hit that magical 160. You can get it to 180, anywhere between 160 and 180. Just keep in mind you're going to be touching that warm water with your hand, so you might want to wear protective gloves if you're a little sensitive to heat. At 160, we are going to remove the whey from the heat, and we're going to just simply nestle our little mozzarella baby cheese ball in there. And it's hot. Tell you that, it's hot, so you might want to get some gloves. And we're just going to let that set in there for about 10 seconds. All right, so then we're simply going to take it out after 10 seconds, and then we're simply going to squeeze out that liquid. Squeeze out the whey. You can stretch it if you want. And back in for another 5 to 6 seconds. Okay, now over to our little ice bath that we pre-prepared. Same thing, we're gonna drop it in there for about 10 seconds. And then we're simply gonna squeeze. Drop it back in there. All right, so the last thing to do is we're just gonna take that bad boy out and squeeze it one more time. And there is our mozzarella cheese. Now we're gonna roll it up with saran wrap, whatever you want. And we are gonna put it in the fridge for a couple hours just to harden up, and then it should be ready to go. I'm not doing anything fancy. Like I said, I'm just using mine for pizza. So it doesn't have to be perfect. If you want it stretchier, probably add the rennet with the calcium carbonate and citric acid. But I just use simply vinegar with a little bit of salt for flavor. All right, well, that's how you make mozzarella cheese out of just a half gallon of milk. And I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna put mine on pizza tomorrow, so I'm gonna put it in the fridge for a couple hours, see what it looks like then, and then I'll use it for my pizza tomorrow. Should make 2 or 3 pizzas with that. I'm just gonna use it to supplement my cheese that I'm putting on them. But I wanted to try it. I'll probably make it again and use calcium carbonate, citric acid, and Rennet, just to see if it tastes different or if the process is easy. But go ahead and try it. It's not really that intimidating. If you feel like you're messing up on something, just get the temperature a little higher or use a little more vinegar would be my advice. It's pretty idiot proof. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.